chosen by destiny.
But in the end,
There can be only one.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 3 indie comic campaigns enter, 1 campaign leaves. That's right, it's time once again to put some indie comics through the gauntlet of glory, or heartbreak, or perhaps maybe a few lessons learned. It's time once again for the Comic Book Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. Woo-hoo. But, of course, I'm not facing the wheel of destiny alone. No. This show demands some backup. So, in a world of ghouls and ghosts, one man has fought his way through the Colorado Festival of Horror and lived to tell the tale. Now he returns to the Comic Book Showdown. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The fun-sized fury, the roar you can't ignore, the one and only SMURF.
The roar you can't ignore. I'm putting that on my business card. Oh my God, that is absolutely classic. Oh, well done, sir. You have been practicing. That was top shelf quality right there. Well done.
Welcome back,
Hello.
my friend.
Thank you.
We missed you. In 2 minutes or less, tell us all about your adventures at the Colorado Festival of Horror.
You know what? No one really truly understands what goes into a con until you put on a con, and it is no small feat. There are a lot of moving parts. Thank God for my co-founders. Thank God for my amazing volunteers. Thank God for my fans and the people that come out and support the event, and most of all, the guests that were absolutely brilliant. Had to sit down with Michael Bean. Sylvia, was awesome. Lynn was amazing. There's so much to come on 5280 Geek as far as interviews, video recaps, the cosplay contest, the world-renowned Festival of Horror cosplay contest had over 30 entrances, and we had 4 people walk away with trophies and cash prizes. So all in all, it was tiresome.
I bet, man. I can't even imagine trying to put on a convention. That's crazy. So what was your favorite memory, or one of them? I'm sure you had several.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Sybil Danning.
Did you get to see the cosplay contest?
I actually host the contest, so I'm in the back of the room running the microphone, and I introduce everybody, and I have them write little snippets about what's going on, and I don't judge. I want complete hands off on that. I don't judge. I'm a Ghostbuster. I don't know shit. So it's one of those things that I just host it, narrate it, and add the personality. So it's better that way. But we had 4 amazing judges. We had Red, we had Dean Gates, Kurt, and Chris. So I tried to pull. Chris is your everyday Joey Bag of Donuts filmmaker. Dean Gates, of course, is a legend, special effects man. In fact, he's the one that was responsible for a lot of the works in Maximum Overdrive. Kurt is a well-noted cosplayer. He showed up in this Terminator endoskeleton that he took pictures with Michael Bean. So, it was fun. Everybody had a good time. There was I think all the judges were in sync this year, which is nice. So a new batch of judges. Thank you, Gerald. So that was, and then sitting down with Sybil Danning latched on. There was a connection. There was an Uber connection between me and Sybil, and not like that, but woo. I'm on stage with her because I do the hosting with her panel and the Q&A, and she made me come out of the room and escort her in. She's like, I cannot enter without my king. I'm like, what? so I give Sybil this in-arm escort to the stage, and that was absolutely brilliant. interviewing all 5 Colonial Marines, which you'll see that interview, at least one of them. I did 3 of them. Was
On
probably
the
that one was a
5280geek.com.
blast.
We'll see him on
Yep, it'll be at 5280geek.com. If you go to our YouTube channel, once we finish editing everything out, you'll see it there. You'll also see our video recap. It'll also show up on Facebook at 5280geek and Colorado Festival of Horror. So if you're not following one, follow them all.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things. I know I just talked to cosplayer Colleen Cole, and she said it was a great show. She said it had one of her best selling prints, of all time. So sounded like a great event.
She showed up, her and Christy Kai. Christy I haven't seen her Predator in a long time, so she pulled that out of the closet. Looked tremendous. Colleen did this gorgeous Alien Queen cosplay.
Alien Queen,
was
massive.
On point. And if you haven't gone and looked at it, check out Colleen's cosplay. I think she's on Facebook as Cosplay Colleen or Colleen Cosplay.
I think it's also on Instagram.
It is, yeah, and it's also on Instagram. I mean, it is phenomenal. And she's walking around. She's got the motions and all of that. And it was funny because we were talking with the Marines about the Alien Queen, and there was like 5 different puppeteers that ran the Queen independently. So it was like basically like a marionette. And we were asking him, and he's like, that's why they had that like weird fluid moment, because it was some different people running different sticks. It's like, wow, okay.
Well, cool. It sounds like a great show. If you missed it, be sure and not miss it next year, people.
Year 6.
That's right. That's right. It just keeps getting bigger and better every year, and you guys are crushing it.
We filled that. Oh my God, we filled that hotel. It was packed. It was really packed. So I think, I don't know, we may have a new venue in sight. Stay tuned.
Right on, right on. Good to hear. Well, let's get to what we came here for. First of all, I want to say congratulations to last week's winner. It was called Eric Avalon, and they had one of the most professional sounding videos I've heard, I think, ever on this show. We asked Jonathan Medici, which was the creator. At the end of the show, he popped on and he said that his voice actor was someone who does voice stuff for Blizzard. I don't know how he got connected, how he was able to afford that, what that ended up running or anything, but I know it just sounded phenomenal. And so if you missed out, go back to the last episode, jump to it, check it out, listen to it. It's amazing. It was phenomenal. But just goes to show you.
Friends. I mean, the voice makes the difference, man. I tell you.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You know, it goes to show that, like, having that right voiceover, professional voiceover, makes all this, because it was so exciting and engaging. Just the voice, it was so deep and booming, and you're like, "Ooh, that sounds villainous," you know. And it was great. But I like this comment. Are there 5 puppeteers that control SMURF as well? No, but there is one giant microphone or giant speaker inside of his chest, like a 12-inch subwoofer, so that when he speaks, it just vibrates.
SMURF does not need a microphone. That is the running joke at COFO. There's only one event through the entire weekend that I use a microphone, and it is during the cosplay competition. I do a help with a charity raffle. This year it was for Arapaho furry pets or something, so all the money raised goes to that. But I pull coupons and I announce basically to a full hotel lobby of people the numbers and joke, but at no time is there a microphone used throughout the rest of the weekend.
I believe it. SMURF don't need no microphone.
Need no microphone.
Yeah, I also want to say thank you to our guest host last week, Mr. Fish. He did a great job, had some great insights. Good. He's made over 100 indie comics, and so he had a lot of interesting stuff.
I didn't know he had that many under his belt. Damn, Fish. All right.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them are his, some of them are from other clients, but yeah, he's fast. He cranks them out. Like Total Recall, the real Smurf is deep inside, speaking into a megaphone. He will come out if you ask nicely.
It's more like Men in Black, that little creature inside the jeweler's head. Just Orion's belt.
Yep. All right, so we have another pretty impressive lineup this week for the Wheel of Destiny. Let's take a look at what we've got. Actually, why are you not on there? Let's add you on there. There you are. So we've got Worrywart, Blood and Fire 1 through 3, Shark of War, Arbiter, which is on Fund My Comic, The Canon of Vangal, Immortal Coil Volume 3. No, excuse me. I messed that up. Immortal Coil Volume 1. That's by our good friend Gerald. Arcfire Issue 1 and 2. Mary Shelley's School of Monsters, which is doing really well. I'm hoping to take a look at that. Travis Gibbs' Bubblegum Razor. Damsels of Halloween and Horror. I think that's an art book. And a book on backer kit called Nauticula. It's hard to say. All right.
Banicula.
So, there we have it. So we got a pretty good lineup today. Are you guys ready to spin the wheel?
But before we do, spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Let's fucking go!
There can be only one Highlander type situation. Behold, my wheel of
Destiny!
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Time to spin the wheel.
All right. By the way, you were here for this. We also have changed the format just a little bit. We started doing something to keep people on the edge of their seats. From now on, we are going to spin the wheel once, look at the campaign, and then go back to the wheel and spin again, so that people who are on the wheel, they have no idea if they're going to be on the wheel all the way through to the very end.
Damn, we're just mean.
Here we go. Number 1 is gonna be... Oh, I think it's gonna be Gerald's. Oh, it's right on the edge. On the edge. Oh, it is. Immortal Coil, you're a lucky dog.
All right.
So that is our first contestant on the Comic Book Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. All right, while I pull that up, let's take a listen from our sponsor. Let's talk about fulfillment for a second. You've worked your butt off to get your comic made and crowdfund your book. Now you're faced with sorting, packing, labeling, shipping, and tracking potentially hundreds of backers. Fulfillment can make or break your indie comic campaign. It can be downright overwhelming, especially if you're a one-person operation. That's why we're excited to share that our new sponsor, Gemini Mailers, now offers full-service fulfillment designed specifically for independent comic creators. They're offering fulfillment starting at just $2.50 per order, including Gemini's premium mailers shipping at cost. No markup storage, no monthly minimums, so you can ship in waves if you want. They even have custom packaging options like shrink wrap, filler pads, and more. These guys get it because they've been mailing our comics for years. And now they've built a warehouse operation that's already helping creators like us fulfill campaigns smoothly. So if your next campaign feels like it's going to bury you in boxes, be sure to check out GeminiComicSupply.com. This isn't just shipping, it's peace of mind. It's peace. It's peace.
It's peace.
All right.
Peace.
It's peace. All right, first up, Immortal Coil, Volume 1, The End of All Things. All right, It says in the tagline, collecting the award-nominated series that blends Norse mythology told through the lens of eldritch horror in a modern world. Aaron is a backer. All right, he has a goal of $2,500, and he's already crushed it at $4,453 with 133 backers. Good job, Gerald.
That's impressive for a collected edition, too. I mean, damn.
Yes.
Damn,
Considering
son.
that many of these people have already backed. I know I have backed with like previous issues, individual issues. I had one just here earlier. And so now it's collected. I'm sure a lot of people are returning for that collected edition. So let's take a look at what the video tells us. 8 seconds. And there it was. What do you think, Smurf?
That was fast. I think, Gerald. Oh no, I may have to go clean the house while you guys tear me up. No, I'm not going to tear you up. Okay, Gerald, you really need to slow down that text because I read quickly and that thing blew by way too damn fast. I mean, that was done. I'm like, I got like 2 words in and it was gone. So either slow that frame down so somebody has a chance to read it, or just do a light voiceover. The volume is in your face. I like the imagery. You should have like one of those warnings. Images may induce seizures, because that was like boom, 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 boom. Lots of flashing, but it's impressive, and I love the art. I love the contrast and the color palettes that you're using.
And the energy.
The energy is great. I'm jazzed.
And the flashing, it was very exciting. I mean,
it was.
I know what this book is about because I've been like following it for a while. But if I didn't, I wouldn't really know that much just by watching the video. I definitely couldn't read what was down there.
I couldn't read it. Just slow down those images just a little bit. You can never overestimate how slowly some folks will read. All right, Fish, whatever. I mean, it's true.
Here's what I always tell my students is read it out loud and then add another, second or two, because you can, especially if it's something that you've been typing or you've been looking at over and over again, you can read a sentence really quickly in your mind.
Yep.
Much faster than you can say it out loud. And so if you give enough time for it to sit on the screen while you say it out loud and then add another second or two, you should be okay.
And depending upon the volume of text, anywhere from 3 to 5 seconds. I mean, that's in my editing experience, it's usually a comfortable pace, especially if you're not distracted with everything else and like quick adverts or something like that, and there's no other like distractions going on. So if it's a simple read, which that was, I would probably go 5 seconds just because it like to keep with the pace and all of that. But I mean, other than that, I mean, that was again, I don't even need my coffee after that. I just mainline that video and I'm just like, ah!
Now, something else that I always tell my students is that when you are doing something with graphics, like right now, this has got a little like effect on it, right? And then now it's not fully on screen yet. The reading time that you need to give it to we just talked about where you're reading out loud doesn't begin until here. All right. And now at this point, you start the clock and you start saying it out loud. New pages, behind the scenes cover gallery, never before seen pages, which is a bit of a run on. I think I would just have broken those up into three clips. But whenever you have an effect, I mean, the effects are cool. I like them, but you can't start the readability content until it is fully on screen. So that's something else to keep in mind.
Well, and you can just rework this because there's too many scenes. So, and too many pages. Never before seen, new pages, never before seen, or never before seen new pages. I mean, I know you need to appeal to Yeah, that needs to. I would rework
I
that,
think if
or
you
like
just
you said,
had this as 3 separate slides. New pages is 1, behind the scenes cover gallery it's 2, and never before seen page. Never before seen pages and new pages are essentially the same
I do
thing.
the same thing. You're right, and that's why I was like, if
So
you
you
join
probably only
those
need
two
1 of
up,
those.
yeah.
So, but that is exciting, especially for those people like me who have the previous issues. Like, oh, there's going to be more work, and I love Gerald's work, and so I'm anxious to see that. But
I mean, the whole point is to also hook new readers. I mean, this is like,
right.
candy for the returning sponsor, the returning backer. But I wouldn't mind seeing something to kind of draw in fresh readers, especially if this is a collected. I think you need
Yeah.
to sell that a little bit more, hit a little bit harder with that. Like, if you've been waiting, now's your chance. Or, for those that have been hesitant, who don't know what they're missing, here's the whole story. And I would kind of maybe even throw that in there as an additional frame, instead of doubling up on the new pages and never before seen pages, because that's like Matt's point. It's saying the same thing. So I'm sure you were trying to figure out how to wrap that up verbally. I would sell it to the new readers versus that.
So, quick question, Gerald, that you may or may not know the answer to, but I know you probably are familiar with a lot of the names on your campaigns from the previous 2, 3, 4 campaigns. So, when you look at the list of 133 backers that you have now, do you have any idea like how many of these are new backers? And maybe you can get an idea for, how, if that percentage is small, then maybe we do want to push more onto the, the new backer angle. Honestly, I feel like that should always be the goal. But let's take a look at the rest here. So far, it's exciting, and it's definitely a genre that I like. Gerald and I play kind of in the same sandbox. So we have our intro. Rolling Squid Bones and Third Contact Comics presents Immortal Coil, Volume 1, The End of All Things. I like that title, and I love that cover. That's some great looking art. Great looking art. I like all the the red and the blood there. So this says that it's cover B, exclusive by Gerald von Stoddard. Then we have this other cover. This is a cover I've seen before. I think this was on one of the other comics, I think, but I love it. So I'm glad he's reusing it.
Yeah, very David Mack.
And then we have collected everything Immortal Coil into 1 volume, both issues 1 and 2, process pages, and a 9-page epilogue, sketches, covers. Plus, Frank Martin and I are creating some new pages that will add more story to issue 2, as well as some previews of issue 3.
Well
collected
done.
into a full-color 86-page volume, available in 6x9 compact edition, as well as exclusive full-size hardcover edition with new cover art by Gerald von Stoddard. All right, so I'm loving that information, like how many pages it is, that it's available in 6x9 compact as well as the exclusive. I'm loving that. But again, I'm trying to pretend like I don't know anything about this comic. I got a couple of awesome pictures. Those are definitely hooks. Like the artwork, Gerald's artwork is definitely a hook, right? But I've watched a video now, and I've seen some images, and now I've seen what we've collected here. I still don't know what this comic is about yet, right?
Nope. So for that new passerby, Joey Bag of Donuts does not know what this is, other than Norse mythology and some great art.
Right. All right. Gerald says he's got more new ones than he thought, maybe like 50%. That's great.
That's great.
Let's continue to push that. I think right now, like that's what could, be losing you a few. Maybe you can push that into like the 60 or 70%, because like right now, I'm getting hyped, a lot of hype. And then we come down here to story. It says new to Immortal Coil, read here. So he does have a nice jump point over here on the upper left. So let's see what it tells us. Are you new to Immortal Coil? Let's get you all caught up. Welcome to Immortal Coil, a reimagining of Norse mythology through the lens of eldritch horror, set in a modern world teetering on the brink of cosmic oblivion. With Loki's return and a plot to unleash Nyarlathotep's catastrophic power, the story becomes a thrilling battle between divine bloodlines and cosmic horrors, with the fate of the last remaining realm of Earth at stake. All right. That first paragraph has some exciting words. You're really good at the hype words. The hype video was great. It's a lot of stuff, but I get from this first section that it's about Norse mythology and eldritch horror, and that's a good setup. That's good information. Loki's return from where? It says, with Loki's return and a plot to unleash Nyarlathotep's catastrophic power. I'm assuming that's some sort of god. Like, if I'm not really into all the eldritch horror, I don't know that name right off the top of my head. So I don't know what that's a god or a demon of, right? And so I'm it's sort of like I hear all this stuff, but I don't really know what I'm hearing. Does that make sense? And so it sounds exciting, even though I really don't know what's going on. It still sounds exciting. The opening issue of Immortal Coil 1 reveals that the Norse gods have secretly survived Ragnarok and made Earth their final home, hidden among humans. Okay, that's very informative. That's good information. With Odin's death at Loki's hands, Hel awakens to assist her father in unleashing Nyarlathotep's power. Again, there's that very difficult to pronounce name, but with Loki's plan in action, Odin's grandchildren living as humans must awaken their true birthright as gods in hopes of stopping Loki before the mortal and immortal worlds collapse. All right, this right here is much stronger to me in an emotional hook connection. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I agree, and I almost think that I would put that elsewhere. I mean, I like the jump to point on it, but I almost think that would be higher up, you know. So
I do. I feel like maybe this, even though it says the opening issue of Immortal Coil #1, like if you just left that out and just started with the Norse gods have secretly survived Ragnarok and made Earth their final home, hidden among humans. Like I wouldn't, bat an eye. I'm like, all right, I'm following so far. I know who the Norse gods are. I don't need to know specific names. And then with Odin's death at Loki's hands, that's ominous and that's intriguing. Hel awakens to assist her father in unleashing this creature's power. I don't know if Nyarlathotep is a demon or what he is, but
I would almost change that to you awakening an ancient power or to bring about an ancient forgotten power. I don't think you're gaining anything by an unpronounceable name, or even for the deep cut for people that don't know, or if this is a creature of your creation. Again,
I know it's a Lovecraft thing, but
yeah. So I would still just say awakening an ancient power, and just really like, ancient, older than the gods, like something like that. I mean, you utilize the language and the vocabulary beautifully. I just think that there just needs some small tweaks, and that needs to be further up. You're burying the lead on that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I honestly think that this whole section right here is really nicely written. It has just enough information, maybe with that one adjustment about that pronoun Nyarlathotep. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but I'm making my best attempt. That's any kind of word.
And I'm not even going to try.
Any kind of word from the Lovecraftian storytelling is usually hard to pronounce. But all in all, though, this one definitely gets me excited and intrigued, and knowing what I know about the story, because I've read some of it, this one hits all the notes. So now what Benjamin's saying is that stories are better explained in comic pics, especially since this is a volume. So what we could also do is start with The Norse gods have secretly survived Ragnarok and made Earth their final home, hidden among humans. Cut. We now show some pictures of whichever gods you want have pictures of living amongst humans, living in a house, or we just picture. I know in one of the first issues, there's some really great scenes of like Odin sitting in a home, and Loki coming up behind him. And so that would be a great connection to that text. And then we come to the second part with Odin's death at Loki's hands. Maybe maybe you don't want to show that particular moment, but you can certainly allude to it or something. So yeah, just some little crumbs of what's happening dropped with some imagery, and that could definitely give us the best of both worlds in an exciting way. Because here's that shot right here where we see the house. There's, I think that's Odin right there walking through this house, and so you get that living amongst humans kind of feeling. I definitely remember these shots from the first issue. All right, so you're getting this right here. This is exactly what we're looking for. And so I think this right here, Earth their final home, hidden among humans, and then these preview shots are both worthy of sitting at the top, telling us what this is all about. And then you can jump back into, hey, this is a 186-page book. We're getting extra stuff inside of here, yada, yada, yada. And then get into your goals and your rewards and stuff. But all in all, I mean, I'm a little biased because I already have seen some of this, but it is a beautiful book. It's exciting. The idea is also really great because you're connecting two different fandoms, the people who like Eldritch horror and people who like Norse mythology. Thank you. And so I think that's automatically going to get people excited. But these are just some great looking pages. Then we have what's new. So let's jump over to the rewards. We've got Immortal Coil digital edition, $8. Get all 86 pages in full color. Sent to your inbox, ready to digital anytime. Plus some digital wallpapers for $8. That's a great deal especially for 86 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Immortal Coil Volume 1 Cover A. This is the end of all things. This is a 6x9 86-page collection. So that's only ever so slightly smaller than a comic, but I think it's like one of the standard book sizes. So with that, you also get the digital edition, the digital wallpapers, and then you get that book, Cover A, and then any stretch goals. Then there's Cover B, the red one, and same thing, 6x9 with all the other stuff. So two different, that's something I don't often see. I think it's out there, but I don't see it that much, is alternate covers for a trade. Essentially, that's what we're seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only two. I like that didn't go overboard with it. Immortal Coil 1 International A. This is an international tier for Immortal Coil Volume 1. It's 6x9. It will come with a signature, an original hand-drawn remark, and be personalized upon request. Ships anywhere in the world, $40. Normally $15. That is a bargain. You get a remark.
That is a bargain. And a remark? Come on.
No, it may be marked down because he knows that shipping is so high that they got to basically almost double that price. So he might have marked that down just for that, which I appreciate. Then we have another international for Cover B, and then we have Cover C, which is now the red one again, but this time I think it's the full size, comic size hardback. And so you get full size, it's hardback. You get it in digital wallpapers for $45. Pretty good deal for hardback. And then you have Cover D, which is a 6x9 Virgin Ruby spot foil on the 86 edition. I don't think I've ever seen that either. Like, well, I guess I've seen some spot foil, but like where you start getting into like custom designed covers for trades, you don't see that too often because usually they charge, extra for that. So that's awesome. So you get that one for $55. Then we've got the Immortal Coil commission set. Here we go, $200. Kickstarter limited collector set includes a 6x9 edition, a full size signed print set, a 9x12 watercolor commission of your choice by Gerald. So a full size signed print set, which I assume is listed over here somewhere. Signed print set. So I don't know what's in the print set, but I assume it's like all the different covers and stuff. That's pretty awesome. And you get a 9x12 watercolor commission. That's exciting.
Wow.
And then these are your all gone tiers. So I think
those are all the early birds and all that.
All the early birds. I think that was the end of it.
I mean,
so,
dude,
what do you think?
I got nothing. I mean, all of this is well thought out. It's well executed. I mean, the whale tier I think is perfect. There's nothing to add to it, and the price point is awesome. A watercolor sketch, $200. Dude, that's a deal. I mean, you got people that are barely doing pencil sketches for $100. You're gonna give me a watercolor one for $2?
Yeah.
And I get all that shit?
Yeah, great.
Dude.
I do have one question. This one says they're all gone. It says the Immortal Coil Digital Edition for $8. So I'm not tracking why this one's gone when we also have one all the way at the top that's also $8. Like, was
unless
this
there's something special like a variant or
I don't know. I don't see anything about that, but maybe I missed it. And then we got the early bird. They were only $12, so they were discounted. A lot of people jumped on the early bird. That's a great tactic. So if you guys are making your own campaigns, keep the early bird stuff in mind, and make it a good deal. That's a lot of people that jumped on board with these. Okay. So all in all, a great job here. I can't really
I can't
say too much about the reward. I think you're doing great.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. You got variant covers on a trade. I mean, the only time and a pretty one with the metal. The only trade paperback that I thought of that had like a regular edition and like a gold edition was like the Age of Apocalypse. Each trade had a special gold edition. And that's like the only one that I could think of, like off the top of my head, that had, a special trade and all of that. So I think, Gerald, well done.
Yep. All right. So I think he commented that he messed up the dates. That's one of the things about Kickstarter is that if you make a reward and then someone backs it, you can't delete it. You can't change it. And so like if you messed up a due, like when it's due, the only thing you can do is turn it off, which is what he did. That's why it's down in the all gone section, and then create a new one with the proper date. But it happens. We've all done it. You just email those people and say, hey, I screwed up the date. You're not going to get it tomorrow. You're going to get it 2 months from now or something to that effect. But all in all, you did a great job here. We got great jump points. We have great rewards. You have an exciting video, just not super informative. And I think with a little bit of rearranging, you might be able to reach a few more new backers. But all in all, great job. You can tell Gerald has put in the homework. He's on a lot of shows. He's paying attention. He's soaking up information. And that's what I love about him, man. He's always putting in the work.
Yep.
So great job, sir. All right. So guess what that means? That means
spin the wheel.
It's time to go back to the wheel. All right, so it's time to see who's going to be our second entry on the Wheel of Destiny. See, it's exciting. Keep the excitement up.
Yes, it's very exciting. Oh,
all right, looks like it's going to be Worrywart. All right, very good, very good. Take that off the list. All right. Let me pull up another tab here for Worrywart. Man. Yeah, I love this new whoops, didn't want to do that. I love this new setup where we spin in between. It really keeps the excitement up. All right, almost there. Worrywart. All right, this one here. There we go. This one here is... I don't like that one. Let's go here. All right, Worrywart, a chaotic action fantasy comic. All right, it's chaotic, it's action, and it's fantasy. And it's a comic.
And it's in a comic.
Good job. All right, that title gives us some information. That's good. All right, our tagline says, a standalone story about a monster royal family, their magical imp pet, and a violent teen rebellion by Nick Bryan and Lane Lloyd. All right. What'd you take away from just the tagline, Mr. SMURF?
I mean, it kind of lays it all out. I mean, we're not using, pronouns or anything else. It's very, it's vague enough to keep me entertained. I don't have to overthink it. It's simple, stupid, easy. I want to know more. And you know what? Sometimes that says more to me, that they took the time to okay, how can we craft this to hook someone just passing by? And I think that is a perfect way of doing it. That's a great layout.
Yep. I agree with you. No main pronouns. Keeping it simple. All right, they've got a goal of 1,355, originally in pounds, I think. And they're at 1,059 with 12 days to go. So they're well on their way of hitting goal. Let's see, maybe today during this show, if we can see that number go up. All right, I'm going to write down what that number is right now. Oh, by the way, I also want to check out Immortal Coil's number, see if that number goes up. So if you guys are watching and you haven't backed, go back it now and let's see if we can make that number go up right while we're here live. All right, they have 63 backers and 12 whole days to go. Are we ready to see this video? See what it tells us?
Let's see this video. I love it.
Let's see the video. All right, here we go.
Are you sad?
No.
Worried about the world? Distraught about the state of your bathroom? Then you need a Worrywart. Crafted from the finest artisanal magic, this adorable imp friend will make you happy with a single enchanted touch. No more tears, no more anxiety, no more worrying that all your friends think you're stupid because you said Barcelona was in Portugal. And just today, we're running a special offer. Buy your Worrywart now and get it for the low price on screen. Our experts believe that you'll make the money back in just a year with what you save on drinking yourself to sleep at night. Buy a Worrywart today and feel joy again. How could there possibly be any downside? Hi, I'm comic writer Nick Bryan, and I'm here to talk about Worrywart, a new comic I'm funding on Kickstarter right now, with art by Lane Lloyd and letters by Letter Squids. It's about the demon prince Gruffworth, who is finding life on a conquered planet Earth among screaming imprisoned humans a bit of a bummer. So he clings to his childhood Worrywart, a super cute magic imp product you may have heard of, which blisses him out with a touch. Unfortunately, his mother, the glorious Queen Dalworth, sees his continued reliance on magic as a sign of weakness, so she hires a sadistic assassin to kill the Worrywart, with no limit on collateral as long as her son technically survives. It's a 32-page one-off story about monstrous royal family intrigue, cartoon violence, and the nature of happiness, all beautifully illustrated by Lane in his trademark big fun style. We've just come to Kickstarter to help us print the comic and post it out to you. As well as the book itself, we've also got an art print of the cover, as well as a glorious royal portrait of Her Majesty Queen Dalworth by the great Lucas Kowalczuk. plus all my previous comics available as add-ons. Wobbywort has been a long-standing personal project, and I'm excited for you to all finally read it. It's an action-packed yet surprisingly philosophical, fun monster story, and we hope you'll consider backing us. Thanks so much for watching.
All right, there it is. What's your takeaway, Smurf?
This just may be the accent talking, but I honestly thought it was a pitch for Harry Potter. I'm just like,
I think there's an accent or disconnect maybe, because I mean, you have a different type of humor, so
yep,
there's all that to keep in mind.
Thank God I'm fluent in Britishese, so all of that registered. It was actually well done. It was just really, all I heard was this lyrical. Again, I'm fluent in Britishese, and I agree with Fish. It's stretched out a bit. I mean, I like the weird intro, which was okay, and then we go into the thing in a scene change, and I mean,
all right, so let's go back and forth with the positives and the negatives.
Yes.
So,
yes,
positives. He had a lot of good information. He told us a lot about what was going on, what we were getting from this book. So we got to give him that. And in his own way, he definitely showed enthusiasm for his own book.
It's true.
Got to give him that as well. But a little bit rambling, a little bit long. Some of that stuff could have been put down below. What else? What else do you think could have improved this video from the point of view of someone who's never come across this? Their first time, their new viewer.
I mean, I think the problem is it was long, but he talked quickly. And I know that's part of the culture, and you get out as much as you can. I know what I'm about to say, so don't at me, but subtitles might have actually added to that video. It's just long. It needs to be shortened up. I do like his energy. It's very, very British. And I like it, but I don't know. I would trim here and there. I don't know if I would keep the intro though. As fun as that is, yes, he's very into his book. He's very behind it, and great to see it. But I would choose one or the other. To be honest with you, because both set it up, and I don't know if he needs to expound on it as much as he did about who I am and then all of that. One or the other, I think, but not both.
Yeah, it was a long 2-minute video. He had some enthusiasm for it, but he just spent almost the entire time sitting in front of the camera, telling us about it. So my thoughts on that. Don't know what just happened there.
I don't know either, but I was like, "Well, that's what she said."
That's what she said. That's funny.
That's what she said.
All right. So I was saying that we'll see if that pays off. All right. Let's see what the information down below tells us. We've got. It says story Kill That Worrywart. Worrywart is a really fun adventure of a story that is full of entertainment, a touch of poignant life lessons, and captivating fantasy. It's a powerful package with a touch of magic. All right. That's from Comic Book News UK.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Demon Prince Gruffwolf is finding life as the heir to the colonized Earth, a bit of a downer. Between the relentless poverty, cannibalism, and slaughter, it's no wonder he needs a little help to get through the day. So His Majesty clings on to the childhood worrywart, an enchanted imp whose touch blisses him out. Blisses him out. What does that mean? Is that one of those British things that I don't know?
Yes, it's like, kind of euphoric, gets him high, just kind of bliss, like content. Yeah. He's absolutely content. Like, oh.
I mean, I've heard of the word bliss. I've just never heard it used in that way.
I have, but yes, it's Again, it's the cultural differences. That's
All
what I think
right.
I really like about this. It's again, it's so British.
All right. So here's the rub. But his mother, Queen Dodolf, or Dowolf, I don't know,
Dow.
the brutal conqueror who enslaved the planet, despairs at her son's weakness. How will the peasantry respect him if he can't cope with day-to-day life without a cuddle from the happiness goblin? Really? He's only got one choice. Hire a deadly assassin to kill the worrywart with no limit on collateral damage as long as Gruffwolf technically survives. So it's mom, dear mom, who's the antagonist of this story. Interesting. Benjamin says bliss is like a futuristic drug, right? Like
Yeah, Doctor Who.
I was thinking of the new Judge Dredd where they like it's slow-mo.
Yeah, and Doctor Who had it with the Tenant era where you could get bliss, and it contaminated the entire planet.
Nice,
The
nice.
bliss patch. But
all right, so
this is absolutely everything he just said. So again, I would go with the cuter, funnier, get your bliss today and happiness, and leave the description there. You're unnecessarily repeating yourself when you don't have to. You're putting in too much.
All right. Fish says the happiness goblin got me back on board. Yeah, I did really enjoy. I did really enjoy that line of how will the peasantry respect him if he can't cope with day-to-day life without a cuddle from his happiness goblin. All right, here, knowing what I've read now and what I've seen in the video, here is what I would do. I would you could voice over yourself, read this stuff that you have here, put up the imagery of the artwork. But honestly, and I've never really said this before, like directly, but having looked at a lot of these videos, I like looking at art, and I know a lot of other people who love looking at art. That's why we look at comics, right? I don't think that pans across artwork, up or down, work very well. I think you should just show an image and like zoom in on it or zoom out on it so that we actually have time to process the artwork. Because when it's moving across the screen, unless it's moving ultra slow, like your eyes are trying to like track like what you just saw, you know? And I find that it's more distracting than anything. I feel like I'm gonna miss something because like I'm looking down, I'm looking up, you know. So I feel like if you just say these words that are on this intro, and then show the imagery and cut to this one and cut to that one and show us, you know, some of the fun stuff. Show us our happiness goblin. Show, you know, the mom, the queen. Show the pictures of them when you say their name so we can connect. Oh, this is the queen. This is the happiness goblin. We can get the vibe of the book along with the words, and we kind of get a sense of what's going on.
Well, you have association, because I do like the titles. The Happiness Goblin, I'm gonna probably steal that for later. I mean, I'm gonna totally plagiarize the shit out of that one, because I mean, I never thought Happiness Goblin would be introduced to my vocabulary, but it works, and I agree. I mean, we need a little. He delivers it so well, and he's so into it. But yes, having a perfect cut to it would be, I think, better. And agreed. There you go.
Yeah, the Happiness Goblin reminds me of, I don't know if you know who Kevin Hearn is, but he writes a book series that I love about the Iron Druid and about a 2,000-year-old druid. And so there's a lot of Celtic stuff, but he talks about something in there called guilt ferrets, where, you know, you have these guilt. When you have guilt, it's always sitting on your shoulders and running around your shoulders, and has the same kind of vibe and feel of it as that does. Okay. But so wrapping up here, let's go back over there.
What
it
are
says
rewards on him?
Yeah. Let's see. Over here on the reward section, the Worrywart in print is our featured one. It's about $10 US. It's a 32-page comic, so that's nice. It does tell us that. And I think it does say it includes the digital and the physical for that $10. So that's nice, because if we know that this looks like it's probably coming from England, and so we're going to have to pay probably more than the $10 the book is worth.
Yeah, I don't think he's planned out the shipping aspect of this very well, but
well, the shipping is separate, and so like if I click on it right now, it says that the shipping is another $8, 8 English pounds or whatever. So I think he's figured out, but honestly, that does seem a little low, because $8 is only about $12 US, and maybe it's cheaper for shipping there to here, but I don't know. I know a lot of you guys watching ship overseas. The last time I shipped a comic overseas, it cost me about $24, and that was just in one single Gemini mailer. So maybe it's cheaper to ship it back to us. I don't know. But so about $10, you get both the physical and the digital. The digital is $7, which is a little interesting. So you can get the entire digital thing for $7, which I feel like, isn't a terrible price for a 32-page comic. We've seen digitals 24 ranging from $5 to $12, but then the fact that essentially the printed version is only $3 more, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, you're getting a lot of benefit out of that, I suppose, as a consumer anyway. You're right. He might be undercutting himself, though. We have an art print, basically the cover without all the text. You get
virgin cover,
digital copy. You get the physical copy of the book, and you get a print. It's not a virgin cover. It's just a separate print with it.
Okay.
And then it says, a strong, powerful U.S. comic-sized print of Queen Dawoff by Lucas Cowlcooks, along with a print of the book and a digital copy of the book. These are some interesting rewards. I'll say that. This one has a print set, basically the same thing. I'm confused about this. This one up here says art print, a strong, powerful U.S. comic-sized print of Queen Dawoff. And then down here, it says you also get a digital copy of the book, physical copy of the book. This one says print set for Queen and cover, a strong, powerful U.S. comic-sized print of Queen Dawoff.
Is it a print set? Is the other one just the other one a print, or the other one a print sent as well? Scroll back up.
I'm trying to figure it out. It's not very clear. There needs to be some clarification.
Okay, so this is just an art print, and the other one says print set. So evidently, I would take away from that a couple of prints. So for the same price, one versus multiple for the same price, go for the set, baby. But I think he's undercutting himself on that.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yes, basically the same price. So then we have a retailer tier. Nick's complete catalog for $48 and an entire available digital back catalog up to including Worrywart, 10 single comics, plus the Death of Necromancer graphic novel. I don't know what any of those things are. And then we have a Nick's complete catalog physical. And then we have some early birds. So there are really no big tiers. Like the only two big tiers here are your complete catalog. And, I'm going to play the devil's advocate. I don't know this person. I don't know this thing. So I'm not interested in the complete catalog yet. I haven't seen any of the work except for what I'm seeing over here. So I want to read it first. If I like it, then I'll probably buy more of your stuff, right? So that means that like my biggest tier, the biggest thing I can get to support you is right here. No, actually right here for $18. That is the biggest tier I would be going for. So I think we're missing some opportunities here when it comes to the tiers. Number one, they're a little bit not clear. And number two, I think that this is the kind of comic I think would be fun to include maybe a sketch of a person, you know, be included in the comic, or maybe have a custom sketch made for you in this style because it's a cool style.
I like the style, and that's my same suggestion. Do a sketch cover. Do 100 pounds, you know, and do a couple, limit to 5 sketch covers, and really, you know, let it all hang out there. But I mean, you're right. I think there needs to be some clarification, and I would do that. I would do some sketch covers because this isn't. I think he's leaving money on the table, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I do too, especially when you consider, and this is, you know, coming kind of full circle what we were talked about a few minutes ago. Gerald says UK just raised the cost, and Mr. Fish says I've been quoted up to $30 to my friend's house in the UK. Yeah. So if you consider that he might be undercutting his international costs or shipping costs, on top of the fact that he's kind of undercutting his own tiers, then he could end up not getting very far ahead with this. So, and I get it, you know, if you don't make a lot of comic campaigns, there's a reluctance to charge too much. You're trying to just like get people to buy your book. But in the end, you have to remember that, you know, it's not just about selling your book. This isn't just a store. It's about selling your book and raising enough money to print other books and to continue to grow your business. Yes, the people that are backing are getting stuff. And that's why it's important that you give them value as much as you can without spending a lot. It's cheap things like digital copies or a thank you page in the book. That costs you nothing. Things like that. So Sarah wants to know, has Pirate Ship's simple export rate gone up too? I would imagine. I actually haven't looked in the last couple of months because I've been busy at the drawing table working on new pages, but I probably would guess so.
Yeah, I think that's been, I mean, it's been an increase across the board. Everybody. I mean, retailers, independent, I mean, even just like normal, you know, commercial or, you know, pedestrian shipping has gone up. Even local mail has gone up. I'm like, what the hell? It's not leaving, you know, it's staying in the state. Why am I paying $12?
Yep.
Sorry.
You kind of veered off into an accent there at the end. $12.
$12.
All right, guys. Sorry. So that was Worrywart. It's a cool looking comic. It's a fun little comic, but I feel like it can be improved to get some new readers. A little clarification, mostly trimming the fat of the video, especially. But all in all, it looks fun. It looks fun. Let's see real quick before we switch over. Mr. Fish says cheap prices only work in high numbers. We all get that at niche stores. Yeah. All right. So that brings us to our third and final entry for the Wheel of Destiny. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Here we go. Our final entry. Number 3 is gonna be. Oh no, it looks like a Fund My Comic book. Arbiter. All right. Arbiter's on Fund My Comic. We're gonna take that one down. We're gonna go back here. I gotta go try to hunt it down. I will say this, like, it's a little bit harder to just type in a search and find the Fund My Comic stuff. I'm not really sure why. Like if I type in Immortal Coil Kickstarter and open up Google, it's going to pop up. But when I type in like Arbiter Fund My Comic, that's not what pops up. I get a lot of other things, which is kind of weird. So give me just a second. First, I got to go to
I mean,
fund my.
and I know there was like, because that's been the debate. Someone actually came up to me. A few people came up to me at Kofo this past weekend that watched the show. So thank you for that. First of all, there was another person that was in there showing their comic books off, and they're like, "You should talk to Smurf." Funny thing is, they do, and they're close friends actually. So that was kind of funny. But the platform conversation continues on because I don't know if there's an easy fix, and Kickstarter seems to be not the best, but most commonly used. And I think the benefit is the search engine that is behind Kickstarter. So that's my 2 cents to a question that was asked at Kofo.
Well, there's a lot of traffic on Kickstarter for sure. I think one thing that does have a benefit. We were talking about this last week with Mr. Fish, is that some of the other campaign sites like BackerKit, they have these like big events. And help me out, Mr. Fish. There's one right now going on where if you're part of it, they're gonna push it extra hard. And there's also cross collaborations. So if someone backs yours and they also back someone else's, then benefits. And so there's ways to like benefit from these events that they're having, but in the end, they still do get a lot less traffic. So, but the other thing that we talked about last week is that with the bigger amount of traffic on Kickstarter, which is a great thing, you also have a greater amount of competition, which means that your campaign really needs to be on point when you go into Kickstarter.
Did you see Jace? There it is. Did you see J. Scott Campbell's Kickstarter? I mean, that thing funded in seconds. I think it's actually toting the fastest funded Kickstarter project of all time. I mean, it was ridiculous. And this is just reprints of Danger Girl. I mean, it was just like, wow, I can't believe how quickly
did you funded. I mean, some of the rewards had like, well, first of all, you have to remember that the book is artist edition, so it's 11 by 17, the entire book. And I mean, I would tell you right now, just like the GI Joe campaign, I would love to have this book, but you're dropping in at like a minimum of $150 just to get that book.
Just the book. That's not even counting the other stretch goals, which I think there were still 3. Last time I checked, last week when I did the podcast, there were still like 3 or 4 mystery stretch goals that hadn't been hit yet. So I'm like, I'll probably revisit it, but it was ridiculous, the volume that thing had. I was just like, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I think with some of the rewards that they had, like if you were an excited fan, or if, especially if you knew it was coming, and which I'm sure a lot of people did, if you got one of the top rewards and you were the first person, that one reward would probably put them close to goal status in one goal, one backer.
One goal. Yep.
One
goal. Boom.
But there's also benefactors. Like I was just looking at somebody's campaign the other day, and they had raised about $9,000. But I went through and I added all of the rewards and the number of rewards. So they're like, there's 3 at 500, or there's, whatever. Added it all up, and everything only came into like $3,000. There was another $6,000 unaccounted for on that backing. So somebody came along and was like, hey, I want to help you out. Here's some money, and that can happen. But it did like, I was like, wait, how did this comic suddenly get so much backing? It was strange. But we're rolling off point here. Let's get back on to giving some attention to Arbiter. Let's see. Sorry, I was reading a comment from Mr. Fish. There's very few comics I want that more than I want $100. Yes, I agree. I mean,
unless it's Silver Age, I'm sorry, I'm not dropping $100 on a current comic. I'm just not. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I remember back when I got, a J. Scott Campbell book, hardback at a show, and he signed it. It was still like $50.
Mhm.
So I pretty much think anything that he puts out is going to be that expensive. But all right, so let's switch to this view since there's a lot going on here. We are now on Fund My Comic, which to help me out here, guys, I know we were just talking about BackerKit having these like events. What are the benefits of Fund My Comic, and does Fund My Comic have events? I do know from doing a little bit of research on the numbers of visitors that they already get lower amounts of traffic than BackerKit does, and BackerKit's still relatively new, but they had the power of being intertwined with Kickstarter to begin with. So let's take a look here. We've got at the top. I gotta fumble my way through because this is a different layout. So bear with me a little bit. At the top, it says Arbiter #1 is a 24-page pulse-pounding comic book. If you like superheroes, the supernatural, and a ton of action, look no further than the Arbiter. All right.
Okay.
Lots of words. And it's another comic book. Basically, it's like imagine if all of our comic books could give a one-line pitch as you walked through a comic book shop. And every time you looked at them, they would speak their one line. This comic book would just say, I'm also an action comic book. Right? It doesn't
you
tell
too
you
can own action in the palm of your hand because I am here. So yeah, it's
so yeah. One of the things I feel like this is missing is what makes this comic unique.
Yes, because I like all those things. I like booze too. I like wine. So I'm not stopping at every liquor store, to pick up a bottle. Why this one? Why? I mean, I'll give you credit. You got average backers dropping $53, so I don't know if that's like a major tier or what it is, but evidently they like action comics too.
So yeah, it's a superhero comic. It's supernatural and it has action.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
I'm hoping you meant to do that.
Well
played, sir. Well played.
All right. This was another one that's a little bit strange to me. Down over here on the information side, you'll see that they've raised $1,768. But look right below that. It says in 5 months, and their goal was 5,000, and it has no end date. So one of the things that about Fund My Comic is it's like it can't make up its mind to me whether or not it's a storefront or a crowdfunding platform. Because basically at any time you can come along here and just, buy one of these comics for, $5 or $8 or whatever. And it just sits there indefinitely. And that just takes away the urgency, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think?
There needs to be a sense of urgency. There has to be a sense of urgency. When are you going to get your money? When is this funding? When am I going to get my comic? Because if you're planning on holding on to my money for 2 months, and then I got to wait another 2 months or 3 months for you to send me my comic that I eagerly funded, then what the hell? I don't know. I am not that patient of a nerd.
All right. That's a good question. So while we're looking at through this, everybody keep your eyes out and for any information that tells us when are we going to get this book that we're backing that has this indefinite end date as far as it's open-ended type of thing. So before we read the information down below, let's see what this video tells us. That seems like copyrighted music.
Yes, it does.
Spirits wander through the meadows. There's no light inside. Hear the battle and the distant screams of war. Oh, can you listen? Heavy chains, they are a prison. Are you free or a slave to the fight? Are you a lover or are you a liar? Are you a sinner or are you a fighter? Are you the hunted or are you the hunter? Are you a demon or are you a savior? Find yourself, don't be afraid, there's a light beyond the flames. Angels, they are calling your name as you run into the fight. Rise from the ashes, rise from the graves, rise to your purpose, rise from the pain. Rise up from anger, rise from the shame, rise to the occasion and say, are you a lover or are you a liar? Are you a sinner or are you a fighter? Are you the hunted or are you the hunter? Are you a demon or
I don't think it's going to tell us anymore, and I'm tired of hearing that song. So,
I'm tapping
man,
out, man. I'm tapping out.
I hate
tapping
being
out.
inclusive. Right. Speaking of tap out, this felt like an MMA fight movie or something. Like, I don't really know what the book is about yet, but basically it reminded me of that Jet Li movie where he gets turned into a fighter and he's like a dog or something, and he's like got a collar around him and he's just like,
Yeah, I remember that film.
But
Mhm.
like, okay, so man, there's so many things to address here. Number one, we got copywritten music. So what's going to happen later on when our show gets monetized, which we're very close to? Be sure and like and subscribe and all the good things. Go ahead and put that up there. Yes, thank you. All right, but when we get monetized, we're going to end up, they're going to basically, any video that plays while we're monetized, if they hear stuff like that, it's just going to cut off the sound altogether. And so there's going to be a whole 2-minute section there of dead silence because a copyrighted music was playing. All right. So keep that in mind when you're making these, is that like a lot of shows are not going to be able to play it like at all.
Nope. It's just gonna be this barrage of imagery that, I mean, even if you put that up on YouTube or any other platform, they're gonna mute the shit out of that thing, and it's just, and then the repeat of slides, and some of it's fast, some of it's slow, and all I know is this guy hates to see this kid win. So
I caught that one line too. That was the only piece of dialogue I read.
That was the only frame that stayed up long enough for me to read. I mean, I was just kind of scanning, like, okay, so this is panel artwork. The artwork looks great, but I'm like with you. I don't. Is it the Van Damage story? I don't know. Yes, this is Bloodsport 5. Yeah.
I got some definite like Bloodsport kind of vibes or something. I don't know what's going on. So let's see. We got a few more opportunities for them to sell us on this book here. All right. Let me switch to this view here. It says Arbiter, a cosmic noir comic about our fractured reality, ancient guardians, and the last man standing between us and oblivion.
Huh?
You beat me to the punch. I was like, wait, what did I just read?
Huh?
Cosmic noir. Let's start with that. A cosmic noir. I think space.
Yes.
Dirty,
dark space. Yes, like that. Les Mis in space. That's noir.
I did not get that vibe from what I saw in that video at all.
Not even remotely did I get that vibe.
I got like Bloodsport going on.
Yes.
All right. Under the section that says the story, reality is breaking, cracks are forming in the fabric of our world, and monsters are slipping through. The only one who can stop it, a broken young man named Christian Mir, a street fighter with a haunted past and a destiny he never asked for. When his mentor vanishes, Chris is pulled into a hidden war between ancient beings called Arbiters and extra-dimensional invaders known as Breakers. Armed with forgotten powers, sacred edicts, and mystical artifacts, Chris must rise or watch the multiverse fall.
Huh? Now we got the multiverse in there too?
So we got a lot that apparently happens after everything we saw in the video. In the video, we saw action. We saw some blood sport fighter type of stuff. But then apparently on top of that, we've also got ancient beings called arbiters, extra-dimensional invaders known as breakers, and a multiverse.
And don't forget powers he forgot.
And the powers he forgot he had.
And the powers he forgot.
Or did he not ever know that he had them?
You know what? They were with his keys. You know, it happens. They didn't go in the dish.
I was thinking this exact same thing, Benjamin. This does sound like Mortal Kombat. It sounds like the story of one of the Earth characters on Mortal Kombat.
Johnny Cage.
Let's see. Yes. Did you see that there's a new trailer for that?
Oh my God, yes. I just shook my head.
All right. It says, for the fans of Sandman, The Matrix, Hellboy, or Something is Killing the Children. Man, none of those sound like what I just looked at.
No. Okay. One of these is not like the other. You just can't randomly name comics that are popular right now, so it associates to your book. They're not tied. No. Something is killing the children. What? No, that's not even. No.
All right.
Go over here in the corner and cool off.
Yes, do that. Don't get too heated. All right. It says what you'll get. Issue 1 is a made for more part 1 is what it says. 24 plus pages of full color story and bonus lore. Exclusive rewards, signed editions, bookmarks. All right, be part of the light. This isn't just a comic. It's the beginning of a universe. Your support helps bring Arbiter to life and unlocks the next chapter in a saga. We've got covers. Then we got some interior work. Okay, let's see if we can spot anything that looks like cosmic noir. All right, I see fighting with... Oh, there's a background. I was going to say there's no background, but there's one right there. I see like mobster looking guys.
That looks like an interdimensional demon that's going to come and suck my soul.
No, I don't see. Wait, we got something.
Oh.
This is an 18 by 24 poster. How the hell are you going to ship that? In a tube?
In a tube.
All right, this is just the reverse of that, with different coloring. Okay, so
that abruptly ends.
And then we're done. Yeah. I still have not found anything about when this book is due. Oh wait, here we go. Their biggest campaign, we're going to go backwards on the reward since I'm going up. It says they're $70 shipping, all signed. This is a Arbiter number 1 digital PDF, Arbiter number 1 physical copy signed, both 18 by 24 posters, all for just $70. So I get a comic and 2 posters for $70. That doesn't seem as valuable as I think it wants to be, but it says estimated shipping September 30th, 2025. So we're coming up on it in any day now.
Do me a favor, scroll back down to the posters because I saw something like 2,300 or something. What? Keep going. What's that? Oh,
okay,
funding goal.
Funding goal 2,500. Perk locked Arbiter sticker 2-inch by 2-inch. If we hit our goal of 2,500, everyone who backed a physical copy of Arbiter will get a free Arbiter logo sticker. That looks like some sort of business logo. I thought that was like the back of a laptop.
Okay. So I'm just trying to figure that out. That seems very lopsided in my opinion.
Okay, then we got the same thing for $60. So with this one, you get digital PDF, physical copy of the book, both posters, for $60. Why is this one different? Vision. Arbiter digital PDF, Arbiter physical copy. Oh, cover A, B, and C. So you get actually 3 issues.
Okay.
I see. So the different covers. Nope. The $60 one says that too. Cover A, B, and C. So I don't know what the difference is of these two. That's why there's 13 backers for the $60 one and only 2 for the $70 one. Okay, and then we go from, look at this jump. We went from cheap $5 ones for digital, which is great. Cover A, these books are going for $8. That's a good deal, honestly, for a single book. Cover B. And then we get the $4 more for it being signed. And you get to pick a cover. I like this little feature right here where you just pick a cover. This makes it a lot less mess when it comes to having rewards. You don't have to have a different reward for each one. I do like that feature, but I don't know you well enough to think that the signature is going to be worth paying extra for. I'm probably just going to get the normal one. And then we have the posters, $15, and then we go from 15 to 60. There's a big old jump there.
That's a big jump.
So
I mean,
all right, that's where we're going to wrap up right there. So
I have an opinion that if someone is kind enough to back your play, back your book, you shouldn't charge for your signature. It should automatically be on there for Kickstarter. I mean, I haven't pushed that too much, but if someone's buying your book, you should sign it anyway because it's yours and you want to thank them. It should be an automatic thing. It shouldn't be an additional cost. That just seems like an uncreative approach to a tier because that is a huge jump.
So especially since we do know from research that the average backer spends somewhere between $20 and $30, and so you definitely want to put your ideal tier like right in that area. And Mr. Fish found the difference of those last 2 tiers. The $70 one was that everything was signed, so that was the difference.
The difference of $10. I mean, again, your stuff should just come signed. That should just be a courtesy. Thank you for backing my shit here.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff. Sarah says, I can't find anything about that song anywhere. I'm going to comment on their YouTube video. So yeah, that's another thing that should be definitely mentioned is that like if you're using copyrighted music in your video, the very least that you can do is to give credit to the musicians, like music by this band. I mean, they're artists too, they deserve to give credit. But there are 3 campaigns for this show. We had Immortal Coil Volume 1, Worrywarts, and Arbiter. So, which one is it gonna be? You guys put your choice in the comments section. Almost said comments below, but they're off to the side. Let me get my drum roll ready. How about this one? I got to find a reason to play that gong sound. I like it. All right. I have made my choice. I am ready. Are you ready, Mr. SMURF?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
I was trying to do my fancy art because I'm such a good artist. But I didn't. This is lame. But that's all I had time for. I rushed it.
All right. Drum roll, please. 1, 2, 3. Yep. I figured Gerald crushes it again. That's at least the second time Gerald has won this show. Congratulations.
I was looking for like my other Immortal Coil because I know it's around here somewhere because oh, there it is. It's on the floor.
Yep. We've got Sarah saying the Immortal Coil. Benjamin says the coil that could not die. I like it. Mr. Fish says Immortal Coil. So there's a lot of support for you, Gerald. Yep, that's from the last time. Good job. All right, fun show, everybody. Be sure if you're not already, that you are subscribing to the YouTube channel. We are well on our way to 100 billion backers. We're so close. Also, if you'd like to check out my comic series, Mythica, about demon hunting in World War I with a Scottish soldier and a sexy Irish spy, be sure to go to my website, actionlandstudios.com. And while you're there, you can find our new service, the Crowdfund Clinic, where we will look at your campaign before you launch. You just share the preview link to me, and I'll break down the positives, the negatives of not just the part in the campaign, but the video, the reward section, lets you know where there's confusion. And this is based on not only my experience in having multiple campaigns, but also over a year of doing this show every Friday. We've looked at hundreds of campaigns and learned lots of lessons along the way. So let us give that to you so that you can fix those things and not lose backers before you launch. And you can get all that ranging between $20 and $35. Essentially, the cost of a single backer can save you hundreds of backers, maybe dozens of backers. I don't know. All right. So also be sure and check out our sponsor, GeminiComicSupply.com. They have a new service where they will fulfill your books, ship them out for you, on top of already having great rigid mailers. They're now having that service. So exactly. Thank you, Mr. Smurf. So again, thank you to Gemini Comic Supply. Now, also be sure and check out 5280geek.com, where you can get all the latest stuff. Tell them about where we can find you and see us out, sir.
5280geek.com, like Matt said. We are also on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are on all major podcasting platforms. I will be back next week with my take on, I don't know. That's why you tune in to find out whatever I'm going to ramble about. In addition, all of the interviews and everything else that that happened at Kofos. And there's a lot to catch up on, so start looking on that next weekend. But in the meantime, run fast, laugh hard, and always be kind. Good night!